at least one, maybe two games in this best of three.
I think with this draft, yes. In the group stage, they picked a lot of non-QO heroes. I think he's kind of like the embodiment of aggression with the heroes that he plays, Slark, PA, PL, just heroes that can be in your face all the time. And then they picked him some Timbersaw here and there, which didn't quite seem up his alley. They picked him a Tinker, which they lost. And we saw the Alchemist made out from OG, which he also played a couple times during the group stage. But I think the PA is really his hero.
Yeah, it's just that kind of burst and also momentum shifting hero that MVP can bring into the fights. What do you actually think about the overall draft? There's very few teams that come out and run a full 5 melee lineup.
Yeah, it's very risky, especially when you have all this AoE from the Earth Spirit and the Bat Rider. Like, Napalm's going to be a huge issue, not to mention the last pick, Timbersaw. I think this is kind of an ideal Timbersaw game. Maybe not as many strength.
The contest for the top rune, the Iron Shell's already up. MVP's going to go in. Super heavy damage early on, but the double Iron Shell's putting out the fight. The first one drops to the SP. A one-to-one trade-off. But really, MVP, have you bitten off more than you can do? Femi has to make a run for this. As the Bounty Hunter, he can't go in for another 5 seconds. But he'll bail out. The runes still end up going the way. In fact, both bounty runes went the way of MVP into the hands of Faceless Void as well as the PA. Febby, Orb of Venom just harassing Crypt back out again. He's going to control up this jungle nicely.
They're very reliant on the Ion Shield this game, and OG drafted potentially 2 ways to get rid of the Ion Shield with the Demonic Purge and a Diffusal Blade Carrier in the Juggernaut. And you can tell OG, they're prepared. All these early game clarities, they're grouping up around the runes, just expecting this level of fighting. We already see a charge on bottom from Dubu. See if he gets as lucky with the bashes.
Yeah, it seems to be more of a zone out kind of thing. Moon is going to have a real good time up against MP. As we said, melee versus sticky napalm is always going to favor the Bat Rider, which should be checking middle lane as the sentry ward down for crit. They're going to see Femi boulder forward. QO will take it for the Bounty Hunter, and they're both going to move back out again. This time around, they don't have that Iron Shell damage they had around the top rune fight. They have to give space to OG.
These 2 heroes are still level 1. They're still trying to kill people. It's going to be a problem once Reactive Armor gets up on Miracle, too. Let's see if he picks up level 2 at level 3, but if that happens, I'm not exactly sure where Febby's going to go.
You make this a survive lane? Well, Febby will get rid of the sentry ward, so he's freer to move in the mid lane. No extra sentry over on crit. In fact, it's Fly who's holding on to the other 2 sentries at the moment. But they still have to keep tabs on where this Bounty Hunter is moving. And the Bounty, one of those rare times as well, where he doesn't have a jungle he can just leech experience off. Not until they can make Moon abandon the bottom lane and start stacking up inside the jungle for him.
I don't know if he's going to leave. I don't think he needs to. As the draft panel mentioned, like, they don't have a good zoning support at all. Spirit Breaker's okay, but he has no easy way to get rid of the sticky napalm.
Top rune, Iron Shell's going to prep up. What's the bit? It's going to be a bounty rune only, so no big damage from a crit. Didn't actually boulder out. The SB's on his way in. It's a long charge back underneath the tier 1 tower, but it's already done. The Darkseer finds the extra kill, and Dubu will run away, so 2-2 on the board.
And OG have invested some minion sentries, but maybe not enough. MVP are ready to ward battle in the mid lane at the moment, and Dupu's there for the charge just in case.
Tasty can help out, make sure those kills get secured, also keeps the vision up. He's going to charge back down to bottom lane, so MP doesn't really have a lot to play around with. Like, he's a stick charge, no points up in time lock. Instead, it's time dilation he's trying to play up against Moon with. So Moon will turn for the sticky napalm. MP with the extra batch is still not going to be enough to kill off Moon. Yeah. Very safe down there with his boots. High movement speed to get away.
I'm surprised they didn't go for the double bash lane. Double that thing up. MP.
Says it's just more survival. Top lane, nice option from Fly. Catches the Darkseer. Mid-surge for Rev. He will be dropping now. Tries to turn to enough damage to Fly to get a kill. The double Iron Shells were there, and Febby looking to soak up a little bit more with the extra attack on a Fly. He can't kill him. He can only harass him. But that's the last consumable down for the SD.
And they are very light on detection in the top lane.
Under attack.
Even one of the better supports to deal with that Darkseer. Rev might have a troublesome time if he's not in the jungle.
Because he had to give the extra sentry wards over to Crit. Crit brought another one of those sentries to the mid lane and held on to the other one.
And they need to make sure that QO isn't out of control. He's the main person that you always want to shut down on MVP.
My eyes up on this top lane. The Iron Shells are always up, so No-Tail's got to be careful. I was setting when the Bounty Hunter will move, but it's the 4-minute mark, so again the contest for the top room will begin. Febby will try and steal the one from Miracle, keeps that bottle empty if possible, but Crit makes a bit more of a cover. He's revealing with a dart, and Febby's going to drop. A little bit too predictable, the battle for the rune. Timber actually got a regen as well.
They knew exactly where he was going to be.
What you really get in return? You fill up QO's bottle, it gets a bounty rune.
Okay, you just need like one of these movements by the time to pay off in the later game. When you get some track kills, Crit smoked around behind him in the mid tower.
Yeah, they're preparing. Observe ward behind the tier 1 so they can see QO and understand how many reinforcements he's got. Miracle also feels like with this aggressive maneuver, just preparing QO for the Earth Spirit roll-in.
This is a maneuver that OG does a lot. They smoke with Crit to lay aggressive wards. If there's an Alchemist, it will normally be towards the southern side, but they're actually placing it in a different part of the map this time to see if reinforcements are coming behind QO so they can kill Miracle.
Fly's going to arrive. There's no Observer Ward to scout out this movement. The only obs actually down for OG aggressively is better time out. In fact, it just does do so back behind the tier 1 tower on the top lane. So it's really kind of blind. They've prepped a new one, which is a little bit deeper inside the jungle. But they still don't know where OG supports are moving, and that's very dangerous with Crit's Earth Spirit.
Bottom lane looks to be in a little bit of trouble. OG making a move down there without a smoke at the moment, probably just a warding mission.
With the ward, they do see the Faceless Void. Before he's level 6, it was a small opportunity to maybe gank up MP. But with their lineup, painting off stuns, Disruption doesn't really work the way they would like it to.
Yeah, they don't have Flame Break on the Batrider, so it's not going to be terribly easy.
They're pinging out. They want Dubu instead. Be careful of the timing. Disruption and kick. Not the right synergy coming up from Crit and Fly. This will allow Dubu to charge away. So a miskill there, but also up on the top lane. It was the Darkseer and the Bounty Hunter teaming up together to kill off the Juggernaut.
It looked like he was out of man on the top lane. Maybe he popped his mango and still perished in the meantime.
QO's now going to try and battle Miracle for the room. Actually, Phantom striking himself forward. Gets the bounty room from Miracle. Critical thing when he keeps the bottle charges low, but Miracle tries to man-fight it. There's bottle charges available for QO. He'll trigger one of them now.
Is under attack.
Back to his tier 1 tower.
I like the other times that they drafted PA in the group stage. It was against a lot more physical damage, like life stealers, for example. This game, the Blur isn't terribly useful, and I think Timbersaw is going to continue to prove to be very useful against her. He's doing very well in terms of CS.
He's bailing out. He doesn't want anything to do with his tier 1 tower. And rightly so. Crit still hovering around as Moon farms up the Radiant jungle. Miracle a little bit further over on the Radiant side.
He's maxed out Chain. Or he's maxing out.
Top lane, Notel might be in trouble here. It's a double Iron Shell maneuver, but they've already used their charge. Notel can spin back underneath his tier 1 tower in safety.
I also like how OG snacks at the jug immediately in the second phase. He's like one of the few safe laners that can actually deal with this charge.
Oh, they're going to trigger the Dark secondary sentry being planted, but overcomes QR! Big damage on the fly! Self-destruct, but that damage from Miracle with a Chronosphere just on the end! They need to bring down one, but who are they going to get? QO's low, so is Fly, who will be the first to fall? Debbie is the return damage. They need Miracle as well. Miracle no more one-sided level with a tip and K! The damage is huge! You need a time look, and there it is! But there's still no follow-up. Not till OG bringing the reinforcements. This Moon's joining the fight. The Shark is there. No time over 3 seconds, and 3 seconds is too long. Miracle will get a double kill. 4 kills in total now for OG.
Man, he just seemed like the best laner to deal with this sort of thing. And he had Arcane Rune going that whole time. If they don't kill him very soon, he has Timber Chain up in 3 seconds. 0.8 to be exact.
So quick, so damaging. So 4 kills for Miracle himself. It's the perfect time for Timbersaw to hit that mid-game streak.
No rest for the wicked. They see Spirit Breaker charging, but there's already an Observer Ward behind these towers, so these Obs Wards are prepped for these Spirit Breaker locations, and OG, they are not getting caught off guard by MVP's game plan at all.
They definitely are not. The first Chrono was well going to work and not really having the desired
But you have 5 melee heroes.
Yeah, you can't really do much with it. Like, even with PA, like maybe with a Juggernaut you could jump in an Omni Slash. PA, you almost have to rely that you still have someone on the edge of the Chronosphere.
Maybe later they can get a Battle Fury and they can throw some daggers and have some crit wonders inside the Chrono, but aside from that, it's not that much damage actually growing into the Chronosphere aside from Ion Shell.
Moon? Chrono's still on cooldown with only 1 point up in time lock. Faceless Void really isn't that menacing.
Smoke from OG, flying crit around the mid lane.
Maybe it's also a good time to ask that question about the Faceless Void. The Draft Hunter was asking about it too. Do you try and build damage on this Faceless Void? Not just take control of Febby said. Entry force to drop. There's no escaping from this. Perfect stuns. And the Bounty Hunter will fall. It at least allows MP to back up before he gets killed.
Yeah, regarding the Faceless Void, this level 1 time annihilation is pretty good versus Bat Riot. In terms of item builds, he doesn't really have that much to play around with. Going for the Vlads. In case they do win a team fight, they can get Roche and
SB charging in on Miracle, QR, matches on a lot of Miracle's abilities with the charge in, and he's the extra badges, MP will arrive through time dilation, causing real legit for Miracle, the extra damage from the wall, reactive armor is a lot of life, but not enough. A level 3 Shuriken toss from Febby ends Timbersaw's killing spree.
Wow, what a perfect backing from Forev. He almost got out with the Timber Chain, but Timbersaw only had one chance because of that time dilation.
Well, finally MVP can stop the Timbersaw rampage, you could almost say. There's still other ticking time bombs. Again, Moon has gone for this. He prefers this to the entire group stage. No early blink dagger. Rom just completed 10 minutes into the game. Notal still a while off completing his next big item. And for Ring of Aquila as well as his phase boots.
I wonder if he's considering getting a Vanguard this game. I think we see that sometimes on Juggernaut, maybe when there's not this much fighting, this game would be really good for him. But maybe in deciding between the phase Yacha, he walks under a ward.
He does.
Look at all these sentries.
So was Crit. Just with the 2 sentries there from the last fight. Crit's backing up. He knows he doesn't have detection on the side. He's also not level 6 yet. Even with the extra tome that got blown out, he's still shy.
Dubu's level 6 now, so they have more opportunities around the map.
MVP still waiting for other critical timing and items. Darkseer does not have that mech up and available.
It looks like Miracle is actually going for a hood first. It's not a build we see too often on Timbersaw. Most of the time it's a Bloodstone, but perhaps getting in this game to deal with pretty much just the Ion Shell, I'd say.
Also, the team's preparing for a harder fight. There's a Vlad field over on the Void. QR able to Phantom Strike away. Support's rotating down and Dubu will forever. They're charging in now. Notel's the primary target. He's still got Omni-Slash available, but the charge will connect Dubu. Now bailing out as Miracle jumps up higher, looking for the kill on Dubu. Gonna find Forev there too. Remember, there is no mech yet up for MVP. No one have a full-on team fight, but nicely to Moon. This may be an easier target, but SB, he couldn't get himself out of the Firefly. Miracle's still here. They're gonna jump over on Betty, slow him down. Miracle tries to rip him up. Time dilation to a double chronosphere. Hold him there. QO can't really help out just yet. While the rest of OG back 3-man wall. Forev keeps them out. They need more damage. He can just kill off Moon. At least they got a couple of to help them out. And Miracle still looks to clear. Notel starts his spin up. No mana for an Omni-Slash, but it won't matter. They have enough AoE damage. Fly getting ripped apart by still the Darkseer illusion. Very forced up north. There's a double kill now for Miracle. Again, the bleeding starts. As Timbersaw's enjoying it, they go back through the wall. Dubu, charge on forward, hits all 3. Notel into the spin, Chris Woe, Dubu with the Nether Strike. He's able to pick up the Earth Spirit. Forev once more, another Iron Shell, another Surge. QO, do you really want to break this close? Miracle's going to find himself a Hate Rune on the top river. Dubu with the bash into a follow-up charge for the Omni-Slash. Notel put the Spirit Breaker down. Febby's looking for more, but Miracle, he's just too quick and too armored. Back up to the tier 1 tower. We got what we were expecting from this game. Heavy battles from both sides.
Yeah, OG very calm and calculated. That was an excellently placed wall by Darkseer, which really turned the tide of the fight. OG, they really had no choice but to fight under it, and the illusions did a lot of damage afterwards. And one of the deficiencies of the lineup from MVP, they don't have any damage in the Chronosphere. There's not an Ion Shell on the Faceless Void at the moment.
Middle tower
and
is under
they also
attack.
had a lot of trouble dealing with the Healing Ward at the start of the fight. Who's actually going to get in there and kill the Healing Ward?
Yeah, unless it's Bounty Hunter at the very beginning.
Yeah, maybe Faceless Void can run around.
Every time, Faby's getting dusted up, just like he is now in the bottom lane. Chris, there is a charge coming in from the Spirit Breaker. Febby needs to survive. In comes Dubu, can he create the space? Nope, the Magnetize already finished the block. Another back inning of a Miracle with a Timber Chain. He goes through Dubu and Forev. There is going to be enough damage to get another revenge kill here. Miracle just keeps going and going. Forev will drop as well. Miracle racking up 8 out of the 15 kills of OG.
I like the
Dire's
player
top
mentality
tower
coming
is
up from
under
Crit this
attack.
game. I think his mindset is like, dying is a necessary evil for me in this game. I need to die sometimes just because you need someone to absorb the damage so that you can build reactions to armor stack on Timbersaw, so you can get the napalm stack on Timbrider or Batrider. You need time to build up your damage on OG.
Prepping upwards again, Fly coming in
Radiant
behind the
structures
lines.
are fortified.
Maybe not visible just yet. They come under the tower. The disruption will start. Maybe who's going to go? There's 4 heroes from OG and QO. He'll drop so quickly. OG coming with the numbers. They actually have 5 players here. A full 5-man maneuver from OG,
Radiant's
half
middle tower
MVP
is
to win a
under
team
attack.
fight. But OG is capable
Radiant's
of
middle
hiding
tower
and getting
has
6
fallen.
before MVP are in position.
That's okay. MVP knew that they were gonna
Dire's
lose a
top
lot of
tower
heroes. That's why
is
they
under
drafted Bounty
attack.
Hunter last. It's like,
Dire's top
he's
tower
winning one of
has
these fights.
fallen.
Well, you just want to bring it back to the whole, you know, as long as we get track kills later on, we get a good chrono, maybe a couple of crits, you never know. A Darkseer, Vac Wall.
Why do you think they drafted 2 Bash heroes and a 50% evasion hero? Sometimes they'll roll in your favor.
The MVP RNG dream.
They're missing Ogre though.
They are. No ding 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 on this one. And MVP, well, they're coming for a kill if they can find one. Rev has already prepped up the Iron Shells and they smoke into the Dire jungle. And Dire already scanning up. What a perfect scan as well. OG, they know exactly what MVP is up to. The Observer Ward goes into the lanes. At least MVP now get to fight with vision.
I think even their Observer Ward's gonna get deawarded because of this. Like, it's a very common move. You
Dire's
smoke
top
behind
tower
and there
is
it
under
is.
attack.
Lion knows exactly what's going on. So, yeah, the T1 tower's at full HP, but despite that, predicts MVP's next move and limits
Dire's
their angle
top
of
tower
attack.
is under attack.
So MP has 1,400 gold over on this boys. He asked the question a couple of minutes ago. He's finished up the Vlad. They've got their team fight auras with both Mech and Vlad. So you now have to start racking up some damage.
I guess the build would possibly be Diffusal, I would say, for damage. We'll see Yasha sometimes. I think, I don't know. It's a difficult game for to face this Void. Scepter's okay, but you're not really getting that many kills in a Chronosphere. Well, MVP, they scan under the Dire T1 tower and the scan hits. And I don't know if they're expecting the smoke right now, but MVP are up that hill.
OG are expecting it, but they have 3 Observer Wards to see all the initiation. They're not keeping no tail back, so we actually have to split fight Fruitman here. They do pull everyone else out, but now Timber change. A back 3-man war! The Darkers out of position. They still need more damage. Oh, the Earthsphere is nice so far for MVP. And MP time walks away, back away from the wall. Not a lot of mana for OG to really work with here. And QO! He goes in through the back line, finds the Batrider, keeps the Stifling Dagger out. He's trying to pick the good fight, but Miracle still huge amounts of damage. Then he has to play elusive, and here comes QO. Another crit. Fly will drop. He went for the aggressive disruption on QO to try and buy some space. Now it's Snowtail on the charge. Back in again, and MVP. They're finding huge kills, especially with such a huge advantage going the way of OG. Every single one of the track kills means so much. Big goal, big swing.
That's some great team fight coming out from MVP. They get split up at the beginning of the fight. Crit tries to go in, but look at this vacuum into Chronosphere. They get him on the edge of the Chronosphere too, so the melee heroes can follow up after that, and that's exactly what they needed.
And they turn it straight
Dire's
into the tier 1
bottom
tower.
tower is under
Take a
attack.
team fight, push a tower.
Dire's structures
Don't have
are
Chronosphere
fortified.
available, your mech's still on cooldown. Not a lot of mana on the Darkseer, but once he's able to finish up Greaves, he might be a little bit better. But with the heavy team fights, maybe it's even better to go for a Blink Dagger. Have even better initiation for Perez, even though he doesn't seem to need it.
Well, they have the Blink Dagger on Void. They can just walk up with the Darkseer with Surge. I think MVP going to Jeff, what's better than 5 heroes running at you? We're gonna make illusions of you
Dire's
and have
bottom
5
tower
more
is
heroes.
under attack.
Those illusions stay alive for so long. OG actually don't really have the AoE to clear them out, or it hasn't seemed like it. I think Timbersaw should actually focus on
Radiant's
killing
top
the
tower is
illusion
under
very
attack.
early on in the fight.
Or going for the hero kills. At least he'll have demand to do so, but he wants to have hero kills as his Bloodstone is almost near completion for Miracle.
Mm-hmm.
Betty
Radiant's top
hovering
tower
around,
is
he's going to
under
run out, he's going to steal the hatred. Means he's going to have the movement speed to get away, as long as he's got the light, but he does not.
That is one
Brett and
less
Miracle
voice in
teaming
my
up
head.
perfectly.
Mm-hmm. The illusions don't really affect him that much necessarily, but you can see the effect of the support, like Shadow Demon in particular, saw some disruption on him earlier, and then OG group around their mid T1. They protected their towers pretty well though. Let the top one fall, clean the important one for Dire.
It's also because they can see when MVP are coming every single time. Like that fight in the Radiant brought them. It wasn't even off guard like the Observer Wards. They had 3 of them prepared across the Radiant jungle. So the second MVP made even a move for Dire side, for Roshan, or to that bottom lane, OG knew about it. And then there's an Observer Ward on top of the Radiant Ancients. That just watched 3 MVP players farming up. OG can then freely move into the Radiant jungle and take that. They just see everything and can make the best decisions at hand with all the information.
And then you also need to see the Roshan coming in a couple of minutes. Phantom Assassin has a hammer, 2 hammers now, so going for the Dezo build that we see QO go for very often. Back complying with the Vlad. All they need is one more team fight like that, and they take Roche. They'll take down the T1.
Miracle, very far out. He does not have a lot of friends around here. Really a lot of confidence in himself. But that Desolator flying into QO, now for Red back. Charge, time dilation, they really want it. Flying still too far away. The Dark Field wall will drop. Miracle's alive. Dugu a little bit deep and light. Not a healthy man. Now the Omni-Flash. On to Dugu, but Envy just in front of it. Until then, they move on to the Spirit Breaker. Febby on the retreat. They slow down Miracle with a Cycling Dagger. The kick flies forward. He's gonna miss QO. They're safe on the high ground. But then QO, the dust comes out from Moon. QO drags back by the lasso. He needs someone to jump to, but while he doesn't have it. Febby stays close enough. Up on the high ground, Miracle falls, Darkness up cooldown, he fights up the Phantom Assassin, maybe still on the run with Miracle, he was looking for Forever.
Tower is under attack.
Febby is away, OG just chaining kills after what was a very obvious bait of Miracle.
MVP knew that it was obvious though. They had the Spirit Breaker go on the Shadow Demon in the back line, and then you had the Faceless Void trying to run up the Chrono Spear anyone that was coming in from behind. Jug dropped the healing ward, but what they didn't know is that Crit was already prepared. He silenced the Void as he was coming in for the Chrono, and then he immediately died. This is a Void with a Blink Dagger. You did not have that much time to react.
As tribute.
It's the reason why Crit, the Earthshaker, continues to get picked for OG. Man is a god on that hero.
Mm-hmm. He certainly is.
OG. Ours MVP who are looking for an opening. They've only got Febby running on the front lines. Advantage for MVP as there was no Observer Wards in this area. Thinking about the movement of Febby, you might have expected OG to go in for Roshan.
Now they have the Dezo on the PA, so a lucky Crit can easily blow up the Earth Spirit or Shadow Demon who don't have that much armor. Shadow Demon in particular who doesn't have Tranquils.
Is that what MVP should also be looking to do in every single fight? Like get QO into the back line of OG?
He has to be a little bit careful because if Fly makes illusions of the PA with a Soul Catcher and a ult, then he might actually be in a little bit of trouble. So wait until Shadow Demon is like in a bad position. He can easily get caught out by the AoE. You don't need QO to eliminate the Shadow Demon. You just really need Darkseer and Faceless Void to get at least 2 heroes, I would say. It should be 3 with the vacuum though.
MVP uses scan expecting maybe OG to flank around them. It's an invis rune for Miracle. They don't understand that Timbersaw is standing in the middle of their team. Now the Chakram, well off target however. Miracle just chaining himself away to safety as MVP once again. They were grouping up for a full 5-man fight. And they just don't see the opportunity for initiation until now. 4-man smoke. They're looking for an opening. The charge will come first. Who does he find? It's going all the way up. They can't towards the Juggernaut. While Fred caught out of position, he's able to get the double silence. And then Boulder himself away. The fight splits up. Darkseer Wall is keeping a lot of them away, and Crit just isolated from the rest of his team. Miracle will stand in front of the tower. But again, he's just playing that bait game. Dubu waiting for his next charge target with no Earth Spirit down there. There's no silence to dissuade the Faceless Void from going in.
Is under attack.
MVP is trying to lure them back to the Observer Ward. They have Observer Ward in the river, and they don't necessarily want to fight deeper close to the T1 where OG actually had an Observer Ward. They need the Faceless Void to catch them by surprise.
They're running so low on mana without the Darkseer Wall. Is this even still worth sticking
Dire's
around?
middle tower is under
That's
attack.
the decision that MVP is faced with.
Maybe not when Earth Spirit's back up. He just respawned, but they need to wait for OG to come to them. And OG don't have the greatest Roshan lineup, so MVP, they're safe to leave the pit.
OG actually slip it and do Roshan. There's a big creep wave up on top that MVP's got to go and take care of.
It's just Jug. Timbersaw's like okay at tanking, but it would just take far too long. And if OG's heroes are missing, they've been fighting 5 the entire game. As soon as 5 heroes go missing on the map, you know that they're either going to smoke ink them, which MVP are okay with, because they're the ones that are actually looking to fight, or they're doing both.
Nice little room for QO for the next fight, holding on to the haste rune as he's going to farm the top, brings him closer towards that BKB.
and there's an early gem pickup on crit, so he got pretty rich off that last fight, but not choosing to go for the early blink dagger, and this could be a risky proposition. Heavy's already been dying a decent amount, but maybe looking to go for the long game and get items up in case they don't want to invest thousands and thousands of gold on sentries.
Kind of one of those fun games as well for Crit. Normally this guy's got a very early Veil, but he has to spend the money on the gem. With the 0-5-11 KDA, you can understand why. So there's so much money over on Miracle, you can say goodbye to the Observe Ward in the bottom river. All the money in the world rolling in, still holding on the 15 Bloodstone charges for the Timbersaw. But MVP, very nicely split, continues to farm until the next item progression.
They're not really getting too much money on the Spirit Breaker. Ideally, you'd Midas, I would say, on him at this point. Like, you'll have track gold, and then you'll have Midas, and you're gonna die in most of these fights. He is the fluffiest tank that they have on the side of MVP.
Every time I watch Miracle move, there's 3 OG players just a stone's throw behind him. And now OG actually leaving Miracle on the back lines. It's Moon to the front lines. They actually put the Jet over on him with a shot! The jump on Crit! They're looking for their 3-man kick! Crit playing 3 in the space! But Miracle he moves them left with the last volley! Hold FP there! He can't time walk away! He can't corner! He makes a 1-for-1 trade-off! Heavy also, no way out! 2-0 TP! Barely in the nick of time! 2-for-1 trade-off. MVP should be counting their lucky stars. They get away with only 2 deaths. But now OG can make a break for Roshan. The healing ward's available, so this should be easy for him.
That Rider recovers gem. And, yeah, crit might be 0 and 6, but it doesn't really matter. He got a 3-man stun right there, and the more important part is they're putting Faceless Void in a really difficult position. Like, he doesn't want a Chrono with solo Earth Spirit. He doesn't want a Chrono Spirit, a Timbersaw who's out in front, but they don't have vision in the back.
They're coming to contest, but Miracle's gonna break the smoke. He was waiting for this smoke maneuver. And he's the man who's probably the tankiest of all of OG. They come in and the wall! He got 3 on the cliff! Derby will charge up with the Dark Seer back! Derby will fly! And he'll get it! Now Q1 comes the front battle up against Notel! The Sharks from Miracle trying to help out the ball! It won't be enough! Q1 finds another! Now the Phantom strike down! Over the wall! Crit as well! Q1! He's so low on life! He'll go down! OG! They were contested! Chris on a multi-man FP with the help of the bounty! They find that kill! Miracle, now Time Lock in the river. Chrono is still available. Time Walk up, they could do it. Roshan only at 1/3 of his life. They have the Dark Seal wall. The problem is, without the PA, they don't have the damage to kill off Roshan.
And Roshan is a death trap for OG. I guess that, and for MVP too. You don't really want to fight into the Bat Rider in the Timbersaw there, but I like the way that Timbersaw was out in the front, just making sure the MVP could not catch him by surprise. And he popped the smoke, but they still got this beautiful mid-game.
That was absolutely wonderful. You can see them trying to help out. The Flame Break at least puts Dubu down, and that Spirit Breaker, he was picked for one solid reason, and that was to cause chaos with MVP. And with combination of the Dark Seer, it worked perfectly.
And I remember just last TI, that same exact position. Where T6 used that on their way to victory.
I like to see it time and time again if we have more of that. The BKB is done, so the strength of MVP team fight is going to get better.
Wow, he's gotten a lot of farm since the Desert River. I'm surprised, especially considering that he died that last fight. Pretty quick BKB to follow up.
While Miracle's progression's not really going that far apart from Bloodstone charges.
And more importantly, no tail.
I say that when he's still so far in front of the network, but Miracle now caught out in the tree line. The charge forward with a time lock. They need a hold, and they bring him down. Huge amount of money. They move on the crit. QO's already got 890 gold and no tail. Locked in. Dribble to run away, but he gets flying as well. Triple kill for QO. Omni flash it up. No tail will appear over next to MP, but another time lock. Another crit, and it's a hit for the Faceless Void. MVP, a huge fight for them, and this is a big one. They keep the PA alive, so now they can go for Roshan. Miracle, he will try and be a problem child, and the blank up. QO gets clipped by Moon. He needs a way to jump down. He's waiting for it. Stifling dagger, still Phantom Strike. Action on cooldown. He misses timing for it. Miracle being pumped down a little bit further by the bat. Roshan does go the way of MVP with Jaeger's Immortal into the hands of PA.
Radiant's top tower.
Miracle thinking that he's Superman. He didn't actually pump his Lotus Orb early enough that fight, and he's got bashed out.
This jump MVP as well, like not just settling for one. You think up against a team like OG, you might be so scared that you just say like, let's just take one and be happy with that. MVP, the lead chrono, gets the second one. They can understand it's just get as much as you can out of every single fight.
You see that crit took him down like it took him down like 70% of his HP.
That's the beauty of PA, MVP. Like they're the only team at TI so far that's had real success with it. And
Now
there's the swing.
Oh, it takes a couple fights, Toby.
That it does. We still haven't even thought about like the effect that Bounty Hunter has had on this game. He continues to get a lot of tracks off during the fight, staying alive through a lot of it as well. And all this money just rolls in for MVP. Like we talked about the BKB only just being done by Kuro, getting a lot of money. Now he's got a Bastard coming out in the Courier too. So you're getting extra chances. We've already had like the Bash Lords of SB and Face of Void. Now you're going to add PA to the mix.
Dire's structures are fortified.
And on top of that, the Bounty Hunter, he like forces OG to make some crucial economic decisions too. Shadow Demon continuously has to invest in the sentry wards, and the Bat Rider's not playing as aggressively as normal because he doesn't want to lose the gem. So they can't play like they want to.
MVP are coming. Miracle is the only man for OG to protect this entry tower. Quick time violation! The time lock! Miracle! He has to imitate himself away with Dubu. Charge forward! He's got the one north sector Q That's not good enough! Dubu will get the double kill! And now no buyback for both the SD as well as the Timber. This could be a top ranking at the moment. The only chance for a counter is Dota on the bottom lane to push that tier 3, but he needs to come home. The Timber is up in 11 thanks to that Bloodstone. But MVP, they take down the melee rack, they'll take the range as well. MVP, they have just won 2 great fights, maybe 3.5 in a row, and then playing the first rack here on the main stage.
OG, it seemed like they made the necessary preparations to deal with MVP's aggression, but I think a couple of decisions in the mid game really proved to be their downfall. I think one in particular is the Battle Fury on Juggernaut. Like this is not a farming game. It might be good to get your farm up, but how often have they been split up? How often is MVP like not running at you as 5? There's like almost 50 kills at this point of the game, and a fighting build like PA could have also gone for Battle Fury, but she going for the fighting build. Vlad's on the Faces Void 2, BKB's coming all around, and now Juggernaut's be very, very fragile.
And Juggernaut is not what you want to have. They need to find OG the better initiations. That's what gave them the confidence in the first 10 minutes. They always had vision of MVP moving across the map. They were able to set themselves up properly. They read MVP's movements, the smokes, the stands, everything was on point. Right now, Dire observer what they got 1 on the bottom lane, and that's all. They hardly see the movement of OG. Not that this movement is that hard to read. There's still 2 bottom towers available for MVP to take, and if OG want to fight this, they have to get it right.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And the vision on that high ground, I will take care of that. Tier 1 tower is already going to drop, and OG is preparing for defense.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
It looks like they're going in soon. They had the fuse on Juggernaut. Pretty good versus the time dilation. Although I think it would have better if it came out earlier, because then Timbersaw wouldn't have to build a Lotus, so he could actually go for more armor, so he can deal with and tank
Dire's
the PA.
bottom tower is under attack.
At least he's got the casual plate with the Lotus off. There's Duo picked up, Bruce found the initiation. Remember, Duo still has an Agency Mauler for Rev, trying to make a little bit of space. He's waiting for it. Let the Agency Mauler trigger before he goes to the backwall combo. Miracle takes half the life of Duo. A quick, oh no kill! Careful with the Stifling Dagger. We said he was fragile. One Stifling Dagger almost removes half of his life. Miracle, again the front line, that's getting back. Stifling Dagger to Chrono. They caught no tail on the back line. They're looking for the kill. Chris and charge from Duber. Fire hard to the Chrono. They're looking for the back support. The wall is just so big. He's ripping apart the back line of OG. Boom will join him. Motar's trying to create some help, but the only side is practically nothing. They group up together. Now the ball is forward. Now they've gone a little bit too deep themselves. Duo will drop almost 1,000 gold to his death, going the way of Chris. And Miracle is going to kill Dugu as well. Swirling Death, Timber Chain, it looks almost too easy. Crit with the double kill from the kick. While all that's going on, remember, MVP are still a rack up. That's a good fight for OG.
Only a good way to start. And I like the zoning Chronosphere coming up from MP. They decided to to Chrono, the 2 farm heroes, and then just go for everyone in the back. I guess that's the only way you can make a 5 melee lineup work with Chronosphere. Don't fight in it.
Problem is when the Chronosphere wears off and then the cores come back, you've got the kills on the supports, but you got nothing else to throw.
They also need to make sure that they deal with the lasso. If they didn't have the Aegis that fight, they would have just had a turn tail and a run immediately after the lasso. The Lotus Orb is a start. I think like Lotus Orb and actually slow sieging might be okay, but again, that's not really what MVP's style is.
No, it's not. It's all about run, and then run some more.
They could trap 2 bounty hunters, they did.
Wondering if track could stack.
Radiant's top tower is under
As
attack.
OG now, they're going to 4-man smoke up,
Radiant
running straight
structures
down
are
mid lane.
fortified.
And Dire, okay, they're scanning over towards Ancient. They're expecting MVP to farm this. Ebby is just on the edge of it, but he's not triggering the scan.
Oh, MP.
Oh, he just jumped himself in! And they're trying to kill in time. He's still got Time Walk available, but MP knows. Too good on the stun after charge is coming forward, but MVP, do they really want to fight this? Crit, he boulders himself into 4 heroes. SC defensive disruption, taking to MVP, can't find the kill. Next one, it's Crit, the back finds the back, into the wall again. Miracle is caught in the middle of the line, but could be a bad catch. So when Dubu splits it, he finds the Crit, and then they move to Miracle. They need the back in control. Lotus helping Miracle for the moment. They cycling, he jumps back in again. There's your first back. Where's your control? Dubu's gonna bring it. Another charge forward. 3 down for OG. It might be 4, but Miracle is just still so damn tanky. And Dubu has to be careful around that. They can find the other core. It's Moon. 5 flying himself over the Q-O. Fasting. Striking from the high ground. Killing him off. Miracle still trying to salvage this fight somehow. But it's basically 9k on 5 at the moment. He'll let it all up. Timbersaw away. The chakram damage. Dubu with 1. Trains up in 1 second time. Down the fastest. Miracle can't get away. Q-O again. Finding the crit. Finding the kill. And OG lose everything.
You can see why they're one of the few teams that continuously pick Spirit Breaker. He just kind of acted like a faceless void there, just controlling everyone in the fight. Great charges and healing himself up. He was like critical HP, turned himself, and just went right back in.
Dream fights again coming the way of
Dire's
MVP.
middle tower
14,000
is under attack.
is the net worth advantage. Even if the experience is going to be closer, the money bank is just being fueled with MVP. Track kill after track kill. And they can look for a second rank. They won't be able to get it this time around unless they force a big fight. Chrono is still available. You don't have the Dark Seal wall, but it's only 8 seconds on cooldown. As market damage up, Batrider will arrive.
They're really struggling against the BKBs of MVP Phoenix right now. This is where like the Juggernaut needs to come in with all the physical damage. He's trying to build an MKB right now, and he's just seems like he's a little bit behind in terms of items. And I don't think he can buy MKB at this point. He needs a buyback.
If that's the situation you face, I need a buyback to try and survive.
Yeah, in the net worth chart, he's not looking so hot too. He's number 4, like well behind the PA at this point, who is doing the most of the work of the physical damage on MVP's team. OG around the secret shop. They have wards. Top lane is getting pushed in. MVP have picked it out. They know what's going on.
Yeah, and they pick perfectly that MVP is going to try and come in from the left side. It could have been an attempt for Roshan, but Roshan's not available yet. And they put Febby on the front line.
Fallen.
Now OG have picked up a new gem, but Febby already broke the smoke before he came in range of the gem, who is being carried with Batrider. So Dubu, they just sent the tank forward, loaded him up, and the double stun. Direct Bobcat. The Chrono's been a flame record. He's pushing Dubu back out. Over the only to find the kill. But where is your follow-up? No one can call the man in the tree line. QO and MP will follow him down. The Dubu makes up on the rest. He's a jungle who takes him into the tree line as well. But the Dark Seal wall makes it very, very difficult to fight. As they play Ring-a-Ring-a Rose, the MP comes back in and no tell. Isolated around MVP. Miracle, the sole survivor, TP's home. They lost their tier 4 tower thanks to the Greek Wave in, but let's see that initiation again.
I like how they sacrificed Dubu. All he had is like tread at this point. It's like, whatever, we'll throw a Lotus Orb on you. You go in there, you get some vision for us. And they always have their like unimportant heroes up front. And then they eliminate the 2 supports pretty quickly. They got a wall onto No-Tail near the end. And QO is just wrecking these fights.
It didn't even seem like it's a perfect initiation. The Chronosphere at the same time as Darkseid was trying to go for his back wall.
It's their whole strategy. It's good enough.
Yeah.
We'll win a few fights with Bounty Hunter. Good enough.
And then just shows how far MVP are ahead.
Their teamwork is really phenomenal though, with a lineup that's extremely difficult to execute.
The kick, nice on QO, they need to keep in control, the BKB helps him break free. There goes SD down again, they move over to Crit, Heavy's back, is over on the side, maybe Crit, where's the damage, where's the escape, Heavy still up the top from the BKB, will move forward, Overlord's moving the Batmite around this game, and in fact, a 3-man wall, the sun is pushed through attack, he'll drop, Miracle, he just needs to do some damage, but he can't finish QO will jump up, he'll kill Fly all over again, and GG, the game is over, MVP in a 70-kill, 39-minute game, take game number 1 in the best of 3 quarterfinals.
MVP played like refined cavemen that game. I like their self-described philosophy on how to approach the game.
And these cavemen, you've learned how to use fire. A terrific performance from MVP, sticking to their roots, playing with an aggressive Phantom Assassin. Didn't look like a right combo, right? That you get yourself a Faceless Void, combining up with a 4 melee lineup, but for me, like that swing just started happening. The Radiant jungle